Ladies and gentlemen, the Flu.
Welcome back, everybody. L-O-O-G. Fantasy League of Ordinary Gentlemen. The Flug. What is up, guys? We have a full house tonight. Let's go. How are we?
Good.
Are we all smiles and farting rainbows? Let's go.
Good and sunburns.
And sunburns. Oh, the burn.
And
all right.
It burnt. Put skin on lotion.
The burn. We have a full house. We have a full house tonight and a lot to talk about. Let's get through some intros. I am your host, Joshua T.A. Hicks, the commission. You can find me on Twitter at jhicks804. To my right, actually, you got a lot. You have a good story to tell, so we're gonna let you go last. To my left in the Zoom pod, he hasn't been here in a minute, so I'm super stoked to pod with this guy. Guys, found on Twitter at a fantasy hack. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shane Gardner.
You know how what I learned? You were doing that. You were like and you were saying, I'm super excited to pod with this guy. He hasn't been here in forever. It made me think of this moment in real life. Have you guys ever had this moment in real life where like somebody's looking at you and you're like, what's up? You're looking at them and they're like smiling at you and waving to you and you're smiling and waving. And then you just find out they're smiling and waving at somebody behind you.
All the time.
You're like, oh, this is so great that this person's so happy to see me or talk to me. Yeah. And then you're like, no, not you. Right? The person behind you.
Yeah, that usually happened in high school for me.
Dude, it happens sometimes where like somebody's, especially at work, if someone's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like talking to somebody else on the distance. And I'm like, oh, because I was the closest person to him. I obviously thought he was talking to me.
So Josh, you and I were talking on the phone and I had my earbuds off when I was on Buffalo Wild Wings and this couple came up and they started looking at me funny, like they thought I was talking to them, but I guess they didn't realize I had my earbuds. So I was talking all loud, and the woman just gives me this like, look, like, what the hell are you talking? You talking to me? You talking to me?
No, Ty, you look at her and say, no, I'm talking to him.
That's your friend. I your friend.
Anyways.
Shane, what is up? How are you? People haven't heard from you.
Dude, I've been good, man.
Tell us stories. Tell us stories about life.
Oh, I'll tell you a story about yesterday too. This other story, something just spurred this in my mind. I don't know why, but yesterday I was at Lowe's and this lady comes out to her car and she's like, all this space in the parking lot. And I mean, you got to park right here. And I had just parked like with the front of my car facing the front of her car. And I was like, well, sorry, but I didn't think it was a bad spot. I'm not too close. And she's like, no, honey, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about the car next to me. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, I thought she just wanted to pull straight out. And I was like, damn, I mean, it's
oh my God.
And then when she said that, I was like, yeah, they are close. They're way too close.
Let's talk about social distancing.
Yeah. Oh, man, there you go.
Oh my God.
But man, I've been great. It's been real hot. It's real rainy right here now. The rainy city of Richmond, Virginia. But I've been missing y'all boys. God damn.
I know.
Just watched a great movie with the family, Mitchell's versus the Machines. Anybody?
Dude, how was that?
Dude, it's great. I'll get back to it, but we should get to intros. I don't want to hog it. To my right, we can't go straight to my right. That beautiful bearded, long-haired man. But let's go. Oh, you know what? Let's go to this other beautiful bearded man. Now you both got to think. Which one am I talking about? Which one?
Let's 1, 2, 3 shoot that. I don't even know if I'm the guy.
Yeah.
You know, that's Gary Jerkowski. You got to holler at your boy. What up, Gars?
What's up, yeah? Not much, man. Glad to be back. Another week, another division. I ain't got a cool story of somebody passing me by, but I mean, I guess I'll just tag it along and just bring from the Buffalo Bills to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh.
Mr. Tyson Cullen. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's up? Yeah, I'm so stoked. I ain't gonna lie, I'm so stoked to be talking about the AFC East today. Although this might not be a good show. I got nothing
Great
good.
show.
Because I
How
got
can you say that?
because I
Forewarning,
got
before we
nothing.
go any further, you might want to tune out. This shit could suck.
Yeah, because I got nothing to say about the other 3 jabroni teams. All right. So
Well, don't worry. There's 4 of us that can expand upon the jabronis.
Oh God,
You're
this is amazing.
you're wasting your time. Things are good. I'll just say that usually it's a hot chick that I think is waving to me or smiling at me, and it's usually I don't know, Keanu Reeves that's next to me or somebody like that, someone a hell of a lot better looking. So
I didn't know that was the company that you keep.
Fucking Keanu fucks
but
everything up, bro.
you get my drift though. Yeah. So that's the only so that's usuly my hey, how are you? Or smiling at me, fucking me, looking at fucking me. That's all I got for that one. I guess to my right on the screen, I guess got Morgan. What's up, Morgan? How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Can't complain.
Good. Usually people actually are talking to me. I'm just ignoring them. And then they have to pursue me extra hard. So then I really know they're talking to me.
Mm-hmm. They do the hand on the shoulder.
Yeah. This one guy, I ran into this one guy on my float trip this year. I'm fresh off my float trip for the most part.
Do you want to start? That's what I was kind of getting about when I first started. Do you want to start?
Well, that's fine.
Start everything and then let's.
All right. So every year I take this trip, and it's an excellent way for me to get back in touch with being disconnected. I've kind of been doing that anyways by shutting down a lot of my social media usage, which is kind of like a double-edged sword. But all in all, it's nice to go out on the river and shut my cell phone off for 4 days and live with the bugs and the snakes and everything else, because I'm into that. A lot of people aren't into that, and that's okay too. So before I make this boring, let me get to the point. This year was the most fucking insane trip I've ever taken out there, in a lot of ways that none of us could have ever expected. You couldn't pay to have this trip organized, like somebody organized this adventure for you. Mm-hmm. This is the first year I've ever been on the river when they decided to open the damn floodgates. Literally open the floodgates.
Do you want to give everybody where you kind of like a start?
All right, so we start in at a boat landing called Wingina.
Yes,
I'd like to get to know you.
Wingina, Virginia, and we float eastward towards New Canton. Easy tie.
I'll try not.
So we set out. It hasn't rained around here in weeks, actually, and before then it hadn't rained in weeks. But of course, I planned this trip, and it rains all day. The day before and the day before that, it rained all day. So we get up to where we're going, and we get on the river. We're late because a couple of the guys had to go buy some magic cards. I know, but it was a new deck. That's how she goes. It was a new deck release, and this all plays into this is all going to come full circle. Anyways, we were late because somebody was buying magic cards. That's the start. Secondly, we finally get on the river, and then it starts pouring down rain immediately. It was raining hard enough that I was having to bail water out of the canoe because we were taking on water. So we finally get to our island, and we set up our camp, and we get just enough of a break in the rain to set up a dry spot to build a fire. And so we got a fire going. Everything was good. And for the most part, it was a pretty simple night. A lot of drinking, went to sleep. Everything was super good. At 6 a.m., I wake up, and the river was up about 4.5 feet from where it was when I went to sleep. And I lean over my hammock, because I sleep in a hammock. Who wants to sleep on the ground? So I lean out my hammock, and my canoe is fucking gone. Like,
this is night one.
Like, damn, that's a magic trick. Somebody got me good. So I'll start walking around looking to see where they hit the canoe, because I thought somebody was fucking with me. No such luck. It was just the river fucking with me. She stole our canoe. She stole our canoe. Actually, she didn't steal our canoe. Our dumbasses left the shit on the tide and it fucking took off. So we had to immediately formulate a plan to get off this island because the river was coming up in a hurry. And we loaded everything into our canoes that were left and the kayaks that were left and hit the river. Since we were down in canoe, 2 of us had to throw on life jackets and swim 3.5 miles to Howardsville to figure out where we were going to go from there. So we get to Howardsville, and Ryan Harlow, who was with us, called his sister, and she brought us 2 kayaks to Howardsville so we could make it the rest of our trip so nobody had to go home. Very
That's
kind.
amazing.
She's an angel. She's a sweetheart. She really saved that trip by bringing those. So we get there and we get the kayaks and we're getting ready to put back in the river, and we meet this group of guys. And the ringleader's name was Emmett. They were a group called the Richmond River Rebels, or not the Richmond River Rebels. The River Rebels are out of actually Hampton Roads.
I love that they had a ringleader. If you meet a random group of guys, there will be a ringleader.
All right, so this guy Emmett was a straight up. He was a hybrid of Greg
Oh God.
Peterson and the singer from Hot Water Music, Chuck Reagan. It was a fantastic pairing of personalities. This giant bearded, just jovial dude. He walks up to me, he goes, "I can tell about people when I look at them, and I know about you." And I thought, here we go. He said, "You've got a good soul. I can tell. You look like that wrestler. Who's that wrestler?" And I said, "I have no idea." He said, "Mankind." I said, "Mick Foley?" I said, "Mick Foley? Cactus Jack? Dude Love?" He's like, "I knew I loved you. We're camping down on Rock Island, man. You should come hang out with us. Hey, did you guys lose a canoe by chance?" I said, "What?" He goes, "Our dudes found your canoe this morning floating down river. It was swamped, getting ready to go under. We salvaged it and took it down to Rock Island." So we all go to Rock Island and get the canoe back, which is awesome. But now we have an extra kayak. So they tie a kayak to the front of a canoe on top of it, which also made that look like a steamboat as well. That night, everybody's partying on this island, shooting off mortars. They were pulling 25, 30-pound catfish off the banks, off of toads they were catching on the island.
Holy shit.
Damn.
And this dude comes blasting through the path, and he's all fucked up, and he walks into a machete sword, and it splits his big toe down the center, nailing everything. And it's just dangling off the side, flapping. And he's like, "I'm all good. It's a flesh wound, bruh." And I was like, "Dude, that is not a flesh wound. And whenever you come down off of whatever you're on, you're going to feel that." So I never saw. He was affectionately known as Bilbo.
Yes.
Machete Foot, Mushroom Toe, and Eric. I don't know what his real name was, but it couldn't be Eric. So we built this giant fire on this island, and one of our guys, D, didn't inform anybody that he stuck 50 bottle rockets in the middle of it before they lit it.
Holy shit.
So we're all around this big bonfire, and all of a sudden all these fucking fireworks start going off. And it was hectic for a minute. But we all came out on the right side of things except for Machete Foot. So we get off of this island. That was actually the best of all of it. We get off of this island.
Is this Saturday or this Sunday?
That was Saturday. Sunday, we went from there through Scottsville, and we camped just west of the Hardware River. Found a great spot to camp. Sunday was great. It was just overall good day. Everything was great. Monday, we're getting ready to get off the river. We've got one last stretch of river to do. It's like 5.5, 6 miles. It's pretty rough through there. There's some class 3s when the river's that high. And we see this group of people up in front of us. And we're being lazy because we've had such an exhausting trip. And I said, "Man, those folks must know what they're doing. We should follow them." And everybody's like, "Yeah, let's follow them." Which actually turned out to be a great idea because it happened to be a dad and his daughter. The dad was in a canoe with another daughter leading the pack, and the daughter behind him was in a kayak by herself. And she got sucked into what they call a strainer on the front of the island. Strainer is where you get a log pile and water can move through it, but solid objects can't. So it sucked her kayak into that. And her dad got pushed downriver because the current was so strong, so he couldn't stop and get her. it just so happened that we were there to get her. And so we ended up, in my opinion, pretty much saving this little girl's life, because I don't know how long she would have been able to hang on to that. And River Rescue came and got her. That was pretty cool, seeing them in a big old flat bottom skiff out there, hopping rocks and shit. But that whole event kind of bothered me, because I just couldn't understand how the dad couldn't get his boat to the side to come back for her. The dad ended up 7 miles downriver from us.
Damn.
And it strikes me as odd that you couldn't get your boat to the side, because when we got to the end of the island where they got separated, I started going back upriver against the current on the other side of the river where they went down, and I was making my way back upriver. So if I could do it, I believe that he should have been able to get to the side of it. That's neither here nor there.
Was she the older daughter? Maybe she was like behind, and like he didn't see it happen or something.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. 7 miles downriver is a long ways. It's a long ways downriver, Anyways, we finally get off the water, and I can't wait to go back. The first day after, I was like, fuck that, I'm never going back. But I'm ready to go back. So it was a trip.
Oh yeah.
It was life-changing, actually. But
this is a yearly pilgrimage, if you want to call it, that y'all do every year.
Yeah, it's a yearly event we do. Every June we try to shoot for. And every year, we try to add to the group. And sometimes we lose people early because they break down and flip out and call their moms to come get them. That's happened. And sometimes they make it all the way through. So it was a good trip. I'm glad to be back. I miss doing the pod. It really fucked my schedule up taking that trip, but it always does. Like, it kills my works. It kills everything for me. It throws me completely behind, but I still like it. So
Nice. Oh
yeah. Okay, bye.
My wife.
Wow.
Podcast on the podcast listeners 360.
All right, boys. I think we got around to it. Hey, it's 4th of July is coming up, so super stoked for that. But hey, Gary didn't say he had a lot going on. I have to give him credit where credit's due. He added a lot to our website this week.
Oh yeah.
So go check out www.thefluke.com, and he actually put one of our good friends, Brian. He did
to him, dude. That was
he did some video recording last Fluke Fest, and we took some of that video footage and put it on the website. So
I love that video.
So something to check out. And then we kind of a little time hop. Actually, I felt bad. I blew up Gary's phone. He's like, give me some photos for the pod from Fluke Fest, from everything. So
you had a catalog. It was
yesterday I was like
30 photos.
I was
let me pick 5.
Yeah, I was kind of slow at work, so I kind of blew up his phone, and at the end I was like, all right, I'm sorry, I'm done. But
Shane, it's probably like Shane. Shane can always tell when I'm not working because I'll call him. or I'll answer him immediately. If I don't answer, it's because I'm stuck somewhere, but
that's what I was trying to do. I'm on a phone call.
So go check out thefluke.com. Our podcast, Spotify, Podbean, iTunes. Just search the Fluke, and we shall pop up.
Well, it will try to autocorrect at first to the flood, and you have to say no. I did mean.
Speaking of Morgan's
check the flood out first. It might be good.
Yes.
You'll go back to the Fluke.
Yeah. You can check out that alt rock song by Jars of Clay from.
Yes, that's what I was going to think of, dude. Yeah, pick me up.
I think the proper category would be.
Dude, it's like Morgan. It's like your trip.
Christian rock.
They were.
They were Christian rock.
They were.
Don't you?
Oh, you got a Mississippi State?
Don't you dare alt rock me?
No, they were not alt.
Dude, chance.
How do you have that?
Because I have family down there. I went to the football game and stuff.
Man. Did you go to
I did not know. I did not know they had not won a national championship, and now you told me Virginia Tech and Kansas State are the only.
There was up until last night. There was 3 colleges, D1 colleges, that have never won a national championship in any sport, and it was Mississippi State, Virginia Tech, and Kansas State. Wow. And now there's only 2 because Mississippi State won the World Series. Let's go.
Mississippi Queens.
like I said, Vanderbilt's got 2 pitchers that are supposed to go in the top 10, so that's pretty impressive.
Well, they gave up 9 runs last night, so. All right, Gary said, "Let's go." All right, guys. Tonight, I think we already premised it. At the third division, I think we're doing our division reviews. We're doing AFC East tonight. I know there's one person on this podcast that is super stoked. But hey,
What the fuck is it?
But,
Where the fuck is that guy at?
but here we go, guys. Let's get this thing going. Let's shake up this can of Coca-Cola and throw some Mentos in it. Let's see what happens. And let's start with the Buffalo Bills, boys, your division champs. They made it all the way to the AFC East championship game. I mean, the Bills Mafia hype. It was kind of like people were into it, and then like Josh Allen came on, and people were kind of like it kind of rose. But then I like there were some people, Dan, that were kind of like man on Josh Allen. But then Josh Allen, dude, he's your redraft. He's your dynasty quarterback too, hands down. I mean, some people call him the one, whatever, but he's the one of the two. And I mean that's what it is. He is chomping at the bit to talk, so I'm gonna let Ty take the floor. Let's go.
All right, so I mean, me being biased, of course, I would say Josh Allen number 1, but the reality is this: he's 0-2 against Patrick Mahomes. I mean, until he beats Mahomes to me is the better quarterback. It is what it is. But this is a guy
it's
that
the Ric Flair motto, bro. To be the best, you got to be the best.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it is what it is. But for having a lackluster 20 years, I don't know what you said, Morgan. I'm just gonna ignore it. Look, man, 20 years of just lackluster football. They get to the AFC championship games. They lose to arguably the best team in the AFC. I even say the last 3 years, because back and Josh can attest to this, the Chiefs lost on a offsides that they shouldn't have gone offside. They should have won. So Kansas City should have gone to the Super Bowl 3 times. But nonetheless, Josh Allen went from 58.8% to 69.2%. How many quarterbacks do that in a 1-year span? Usually that happens over 2 or 3 years. He threw for 4,544 yards, ran for another 421, threw for 37 touchdowns, ran for another 8, caught a touchdown pass himself. So he had 46 touchdowns. And then Stephon Diggs was the ultimate game changer. For sure. In the 3 years that he's been their quarterback, they haven't had a guy like that. The year before they had John Brown and Cole Beasley, and I mean Cole Beasley had a great year last year, but the year before was meh, and John Brown was meh. So I mean, Stephon Diggs had 166 targets, 127 catches, 1,535 yards, 8 touchdowns. I'll just go ahead and say he's a top 3 wide receiver. You can make an argument and say Devontae and DeAndre are better, but I still take Stephon Diggs, and he's younger than both those guys by a year. So he's only 27 years old. So, I mean, he's still got at least 2 to 3 years of elite football, I think, in my opinion. And then, I mean, Cole Beasley, he had 107 targets, 82 catches, 967 yards, 4 touchdowns. He made All-Pro. He wasn't a Pro Bowl, but he made All-Pro. I mean, again, Josh
Allen. He's a top 27 wide receiver there, too, Ty. So,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. And he missed the game. The last 3 playoff games, he had a broken fibula, and he played through it. So I mean, that to me that tells me he's a tough son of a bitch, in my opinion. Go ahead.
Well, let's go back real quick to Stephon Diggs. I'd kind of like to hear everybody's opinion on that. So I think you implied you think you got Stephon Diggs top 3 in dynasty rankings. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Dynasty or redraft?
Well, okay. I'll definitely go redraft.
Yeah.
I know him being 27 years old is kind of looked down upon, but I would say redraft, definitely. There's not a question.
The best of the best happen at 27. Always.
That's true. Yeah, 27, 28. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Good point, Morgan. Jim Morrison.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the biggest things with Diggs, I mean, and this is, I mean, definitely stroking and carrying the coattails of what Ty said, but he doubled his targets from what happened in all of Minnesota. He went from in 2021 he only had what I guess I don't know if did he sit out some games, but he only had like
he didn't play he played the half of the last game.
Yeah, so he only had like
he didn't play all 16 full quarter games.
I think they definitely go together. Josh Allen's deep ball accuracy, especially, but his just all around game getting better, and Diggs' workload. I mean, they both go together. Like it was like hand and glove. Those two like were made for each other, and they complement each other perfectly. And I think I would definitely take Diggs somewhere between 3 and 5. You know,
and I'll say this, and you guys might not know this, but Ryan Daboll has been his offense coordinator the past 3 years. He was thinking about getting the head coaching job at the Chargers. They ended up going with Brandon Staley.
Dude, you stole the words out of my mouth. Like, I mean, I was about to bring him up. I mean, you got to give credit to him.
Yeah. I mean, what they've done in the last 3 years, I mean, and Josh Allen, I love the kid. There's not many quarterbacks they've had that say, "Oh, I love playing in Buffalo." Everybody's usually like, "It's a fucking job." You know, that's how it's been with anybody. I mean, Willis McGahee said that shit. Fucking Jordan Matthews said, "Well, me and my wife got pregnant because there's nothing else to do in Buffalo." So I mean,
it sounds like like a little bit of a trigger for you, man.
AB didn't want to go there.
Yeah,
I know. I get it.
Yeah,
you're right. You're 100% right.
But I mean, they got the culture that you need to be successful. I mean, McDermott's been there 5 years. Lizzie Frazier's been there 5 years. But from a fantasy standpoint, they also picked up Emmanuel Sanders. I know he's 34 years old. I get that. But this is a guy that the last 3 years, he's had 726 yards or more. He played in more games last year than John Brown, and John Brown's 3 years younger. John Brown only played 9 games. And John Brown's catch radius is the big thing. John Brown's catch radius was only 63.5. Emmanuel Sanders was 74. Go ahead.
What is that?
I said John Brown, he only caught 63% of his passes.
Oh, I see.
Emmanuel Sanders caught 74.4.
Dude, he's gonna eat it up. He's gonna be great this year.
You know, and he had more targets, he had more catches, and what was I going to say? So I mean, and then Gabriel Davis. The only thing, Gabriel Davis. I know Gary. I know you like Gabriel Davis a lot. But you know, he only had 35 catches on 62
Dude, the hype's
targets.
Crazy on him.
What's
Isn't
that?
It? Don't you think the hype is getting a little crazy on Gabriel Davis?
It is, and I'm going to get to another point that they got another guy that nobody knows about, and it's Isaiah Hodgins, who was a 6th round pick of the same draft as Gabriel Davis. I don't know why he just didn't suck it.
Because he's on his taxi.
Okay. And quite frankly, Isaiah Hodgins, I think, had a better career than Gabriel Davis in college. He played in 4 less games than Gabriel Davis. He had 24 catches more, and he only had 100 yards less than Gabriel Davis. So, yeah, I mean, people need to watch out for Isaiah Hodgins. They're about the same height, 6'4", about 210. So watch out for Isaiah Hodgins. He might eat into Gabriel Davis's playing time. They also got Isaiah McKenzie, who was their kind of gadget guy. He had 30 catches on 34 targets, and he's probably going to be their kick return. The only kick return or punt return he had last year, he had a touchdown. So I don't like the tight end. I don't like the tight ends. I know a lot of people love Dawson Knox. Huh?
I love him.
I don't
love him.
love
I think he's so great.
I don't. I mean, after the catch, when he makes the catch, yeah, sure, he's great.
Yeah,
but he
doesn't that ball first, boy.
Yeah, he's got to get that ball. I mean, 44 targets, 24 catches.
Yeah, that won't do it.
That ain't well, two things. Gary saw a blurb that Ertz might go there, and then
I know. I keep hearing that.
And then I saw on Roto World today that him and Hollister, or Jacob Hollister, came from Seattle to Buffalo.
Yeah,
and they're connecting because they were college teammates.
They were college teammates.
Allen and Hollister.
Yeah, and Jacob
not bad.
Jacob Hollister, he had a down year from the year before. The year before, he had 41 catches. Last year, he only had 25. I will say that against Buffalo, he had his best game. Nothing to brag about. 5 catches, 60 yards, but it was his best game. So yeah, I mean, they saw something in Hollister in that game, and yeah, like you said, they played in college. He could beat out Dawson Knox. As crazy as that sounds, he could beat out Dawson Knox. I mean, like I said, Dawson Knox is not a great route runner, and he's not a great blocker.
Was Hollister drafted by the Patriots?
Yes, he was. I think he was signed as an undrafted.
Undrafted, there you go.
But nonetheless, yeah, he didn't just go straight to the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jacob Hollister, I could see him eating a lot of time into Dawson Knox, maybe even starting. I mean, that's maybe a hot take. I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past it. And then I'll just say, as far as the running backs go, I'm not in love with the running backs right now, but they didn't have their starting line that they wanted to last year. They're going to have their starting line. They just drafted a couple young bucks on the offensive line. They signed a couple offensive linemen. So I'm hopeful that Devin Singletary and Zach Moss get together. People keep asking me. I know a couple of buddies on here and a couple other people ask me. Yes, I think Zach Moss will eventually take over for Devin Singletary.
No.
Yes,
Yeah,
I will.
yes.
The problem with Zach Moss, here's the thing about Zach Moss, though. When he plays a weak defense, a weak run defense, he fucking eats. I mean, his best games were against the Patriots, against the Chargers. The Jets had a decent run. Actually, the Jets had a decent run defense. And then Denver, they weren't that good either. So that's the only thing about Zach Moss. He runs well against the weak-ass defenses, but not against the really good defenses. So I'm hopeful. And they just signed Matt Breida. We'll see how that works out. I don't think Matt Breida got much of a chance.
Miami.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, Miami.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
You good? Hey Ty, I'll give you a break real quick.
Okay.
Last pod we did some over and under bets on the DraftKings, what they have posted right now. So right now the over under on passing for Josh Allen right now is 4,501.5 yard. Last year he went 4,544 yards. You guys, I mean, what are you guys doing on that? And again,
with the extra game.
Yeah, the extra game. I know. I'm running
Extra
the
game.
ground.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm running the ground, but I can't get over it. I'm sorry.
Well,
You have to remind us because I keep forgetting.
A lot of, I mean, would you agree that sometimes some of that's like game script dependent, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So they had like a middle of the pack defense right last year. I think they finished like 16th maybe, or somewhere like between 16th and 20th.
16th.
If they improve that defense to a top 10 defense, right? I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying hypothetically. Does that set them up to be more efficient in the run game or to have more attempts in the run game? And does that limit Josh Allen's necessity to throw, or do they just keep with that attack because it works? And plus you have another year of film on that attack now, because I feel like they were starting to do that, and now you've really seen the evolution of that offense. I'm just wondering,
it's game efficient, because again, when they were playing like the Patriots the first time, they ran for like 168 yards, and Josh Allen, he didn't really have that good of a game. He was like 11 of 18, threw a pick, and I don't even think he threw for 150 yards, if that. So, yeah, Brian Dable doesn't – it's a pass-first offense when they're playing a shitty-ass pass defense.
Sure.
But when you're playing against the Chargers or the Broncos run defense or the Patriots run defense, it's going to be a run first offense. And like I said, I think the offensive line is going to be better. I think Brandon Beane was quick to point out that, again, they didn't have their whole starting offensive line, but he also didn't mince words and say, hey, we need to be better. The running backs do need to be better. I mean, they went out and got Matt Breida. Again, that's not the great signing, but obviously says, hey, we're looking to create competition. So
Yeah.
I'll just say this. I'll just say one more thing. I know probably past the 3 minutes, but
it was a soft 3 minutes. It wasn't like a line in the sand.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this, and maybe I'm just being cocky or whatnot, but I
Kentucky
expect
tie.
I expect AFC Championship game or more. And the reason why I say that is if you're not in the business to do better than the year before, then you don't need to be in the business of the NFL. Just like in life, if you're not in life trying to do better than the year before, then you might want to, talk to somebody. So
You know what I always say? If you ain't making dollars, it don't make sense, baby.
Man, God, I needed something corny to say too. Can we all have something corny?
yeah, I know.
No,
Boy,
I love it. I love it.
You're definitely drinking the Kool-Aid, Ty. I love it, but it's good Kool-Aid to be drinking. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the Bills are good right now.
From 1999 to 2017, they don't make the playoffs, and in the last 5 years, they made it 3 times. I mean,
Yeah,
it's hard not to get excited about it.
I'm not saying you shouldn't be, but I do think, and I'm not going to see you in person for a while, Ty, so I don't have to worry about you kicking my ass. So I'll say this: I do think Josh Allen had a bit of one of those magical seasons last year. Not that I think he's going to go back to being a bum, but I do think there's a little bit of regression coming, and I think I'm taking the under on that, Josh.
Down to the 4,500.
Yeah, and I think more interceptions are coming, and I also think, like Ty was saying, like I think they will want to establish a run game a little bit more, take a little bit more pressure off of Josh Allen. He's shown he can do it when he needs to, but 17 games, it's going to be a long season this year, man.
But I also love the fact that, I mean, with Josh Allen, something that I always thought was when Josh Allen's first couple of years in the league, his finer attribute was his legs, actually. Like,
right.
His ability to run was fantastic, and he still has that,
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so interesting. It's almost like the same sort of conundrum you get with having a Cam Newton. Although he's a much better passer than Cam Newton, he's a much better passer than Lamar Jackson. But you get the same sort of conundrum that you get with trying to pin your running backs, because you always have that option. A lot of times I feel like running backs are touchdown dependent more so than yardage dependent.
Yeah.
And so he absolutely kind of caps your running back upside, in my opinion.
For touchdowns.
No, same way that Newton does, and the same way that Jackson does. In my opinion.
I mean, he had more rushing touchdowns than Zach Moss and Devin Singletary combined.
Yeah.
And they can't keep doing that. They have to learn from Cam. You can't keep getting his ass whooped.
But it's fun to watch, though. God, it's spectacular.
I love watching him. He's the most fun guy in the NFL. Well,
looks like athletic me out there.
I mean, he looks like at least a less athletic you, Mark. Let's be honest.
All right, guys. So obviously Diggs is our wide receiver 1 for the Bills, if not in this whole division. Do you guys draft? If you draft another Bills wide receiver, be it Cole, Emmanuel, Gabe Davis,
Emmanuel in space.
I was waiting for it. If in a redraft, it's like who's your favorite, and what kind of round are you targeting? You think? Gary, you want to start, man?
Just a late round, basically. Anything after the 10th round, maybe when everything starts to thin out.
Which one? Do you have a?
I would probably go Cole Beasley over everybody else. The fact that he's been like a top 27 wide receiver, I definitely wouldn't mind that. Decent flex play.
I'm going Emmanuel Sanders for sure. I'm going to take the chance, and I think his best. His best can offer a lot to this team. I like Cole Beasley too. I think Cole Beasley, he's been a really good, just kind of outlet receiver, dump off receiver. But I think Emmanuel Sanders' best has been is better than Cole Beasley's best. So I would take that chance late in the draft.
Yeah. Ty?
I mean, I'll agree with that last statement that, Emmanuel Sanders' best is better than Cole Beasley's. I definitely agree with you. But right now, I will agree with Gary. I'll say Cole Beasley. I'll take Cole Beasley. And like Gary said, 10th round or later. Yeah.
I never like agreeing with Gary.
Don't want to do it now.
Don't want to do it now, but I have to. I think that as far as like the rest of the receivers that I see here, I think Cole Beasley's the toughest of them. I've seen Cole Beasley play or take hits without batting an eye at it. And a lot of times that's what you need to move the sticks. And I think that's what makes him viable. He's a blonde stallion.
He's on, and he has an album on Spotify.
He
Oh,
does
Got
raps.
that rap game on.
He raps.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm not gonna lie.
college funds. Gabriel Davis intrigues me the most, I think. And it's funny because I was kind of looking into Isaiah Hodgins earlier today, so I'm glad you brought that up. I think Gabriel Davis intrigues me the most because I look at him like a Darnell Mooney kind of way. Which both have a lot of like heat behind them right now. You know what I mean? Like people are definitely on the Mooney train as well. But for me, it's just off of toughness alone is Cole Beasley.
Like I said, he played the last 3 games. Broken 50. So.
Yeah, love it.
Up the beat.
Cole Beasley's playing right now.
Do I get any more minutes about the Bills?
Let's. All right. So wait.
I'm just
I don't know. Like I've been a Singletary dude.
Can you turn that up? I never actually heard it.
Hey,
You don't remember this at the strip club?
It all blends.
I don't even remember the strip club.
I don't,
Who
yeah.
y'all taking first,
I know,
Singletary or Zach Moss?
Sorry. Ty, what was your? What was your? Go ahead.
I don't know. For me, I like Zach Moss better. He kind of fits what Buffalo needs runner. Devin Singletary kind of dances too much. Although they said Devin Singletary is ripped. Like he fucking been working out like hardcore. So I don't know. Again, their offensive line wasn't all intact. Maybe this is a new year, but right now, if you ask my opinion, I'll say Zach Moss. I like Zach Moss better. He had more touchdowns from a fantasy standpoint. Although Devin Singletary had more yards, Zach Moss had more touchdowns too. And like I said, there was late in the season, they were going to Zach Moss more than Devin Singletary.
I like Zach Moss too, but for me, the running back one there is still Josh Allen.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but that's kind of how I feel about it because that's why I really like him.
Yeah,
and I have a hard time with Singletary and Moss, even though I think that Moss is probably the more athletic of the two. But that doesn't necessarily translate either, So to me, I don't like either of them. I'm kind of staying away from them in fantasy. But somebody's got to draft them. And if they fall to you in the right spot, they could be a league winner. Honestly, they really could. It could flip like that, especially if one of them gains traction and can really secure the main gig.
Yep.
And I think given their ADPs, because of that uncertainty is what makes them intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say, though, Zach Moss is still fighting a ankle injury from his injury against the Colts, but I think he'll be fine by training camp.
Well, he had a turf toe issue the first 6 games, right?
Right. Yep. 4 of them.
And you didn't see Devin Singletary capitalize on that at all.
No.
He had one good game against the Rams where he had like 100 total yards of scrimmage. That was really about it.
My fear is that he's going to end up like a Devery Henderson, And then
Every or Daryl for the Rams.
I'm sorry for the Rams.
Daryl Henderson.
Daryl Henderson.
Don't worry, dude. He's got RB, dude.
But
Love him.
he can't shine. He can't shine.
He will.
Can't make it.
He will. Just wait. We'll do that division next week.
It's not really good. He's not really good between the tackles like
You can whisper
Cam Akers.
I will. All right, guys. Bills. Are we done with the Bills? In 3, 2.
Ty's never done with the Bills, but
1.
yes. I love you, Ty.
Let's go to South Beach. Let's go to Miami and talk about them Dolphins. Hey,
Bunch of
Gloria.
bums.
Not 1,
What a bunch of
not 2, not 3. Oh wait, wrong team, wrong Miami.
hey.
Oh.
Yeah. Can I get this out of the way? Miami.
Ty, you're on fire.
Miami.
Ty, we can't stop a good thing in this podcast. You roll.
Te mi amo, Miami.
Miami. You're 1-5 against Josh Allen. All right, that's all I gotta say.
Oh my God, this man's dropping fucking fire.
Dude, it's spitting hot.
X.
Straight up
Next.
make words. That was something. Well, I got to be honest with you. I was thinking about Miami, and they frustrated me a little bit. However, one thing that I did find interesting was the guy who finished in 32nd as quarterbacks go last year was Tua Tagovailoa. Did I say that right?
Gary, your turn.
He finished 32nd. He only started half the season and he still finished 32nd. That's not that bad if you think about it,
No,
right?
no.
He started half the season, he finished 32nd. There's a lot of concern about whether or not he's going to take that step moving forward. So for me, I think a lot of people don't want to draft Tua, and he's actually somebody that I'm thinking about going after as a late quarterback strategy. You know what I mean? Because I think that that's a team that I think that their defense is actually going to take a step back this year a little bit. And I think they're going to be playing from behind a lot, which is good for fantasy, especially playing the Bills. Am I right, Ty? Yep. See,
one and five against Josh Allen. Next.
Don't jinx it, bro.
So yeah, so all right, so he finished. Can I piggyback?
Yeah.
Finished, all right, so he finished quarterback 32, 186 for 290, 1,814 yards. So if you turn that to a full season, that puts him at 3,628 yards. My apologies.
2D8?
28. Again, I'm going back to my Grambling. DraftKings has him over under 3,850 and 1/2 yard. So that's him going over his,
What he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So throw that out there. I mean,
what he would have done.
Yeah, but look at this wide receiver crew. It's pretty stout.
It's better than it was last year.
James Boyd, Devontae Parker, Will Fuller suspended week 1. It's one game, guys. Nobody lose their shorts.
My shorts, but don't lose them.
The numbers. Don't tell me about a good time. The number 6 overall pick, right? Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
And then Gary's boy, P-Dub, Preston Williams.
Dude, he's such a beast.
Let's
He
go.
missed half the season past 2 years. So he's pretty much on the bottom of the depth chart.
Unfortunately,
You still got Lynn Bowden, you got Alan Hearns, you got Albert Wilson there too. You got a lot of reserve.
Alan Hearns. No, that's a name.
Jakeem Grant.
Yep.
Jakeem Grant.
Yeah, you got people ready to step up. Man, that's a hard over-under line. God damn.
All right, even that, all that being said, and everything I said before, I would love that a lot more with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh
yeah.
Let's go.
I'm just saying, I know that's what we're doing here. That's not the scenario, but
that's true. It's true though.
If you bring me back Ryan Fitzpatrick to the Dolphins, and I'll take those guys all day.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Especially Fuller. I would totally take Fuller with a Ryan Fitzpatrick. Good Lord. You know what I mean?
That'd be
I agree.
I think they're going to be. What's our consensus here? They're going to be all in on Tua this year. They have to be.
They have to.
They have no other.
There's nobody else.
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah. This is okay. Yeah. Point well made. But
they traded up for him last year, but that was their first round pick.
And now everything's kind of developed. I don't know. I guess maybe I was alone in thinking this, but I was thinking maybe there was a chance they would just pull the ripcord and take a quarterback. But obviously they didn't. What's that?
Note, Shane.
Huh?
Don't they have Miami? Don't they have Houston's first rounder next year?
Oh, for the gas mask.
No.
Is that all done?
No, that's done. Houston. No, because I've been, because Dynasty podcasts I listen to this.
Okay.
Of course, they're saying, well, next year Houston's probably going to have the
first pick.
They're
easy pick, worst.
So they're talking about. I think the Texas quarterback Spencer Rattler.
Oklahoma's quarterback.
I think.
Yeah, either him or Sam Howell from UNC.
Yeah.
I like that
Sam Howell.
He's good. He's good.
It's a tough thing, Shane, because it worked for Arizona. They drafted Josh Rosen one year and then Kyler Murray the next.
That's true. The Bears should have done it. The Bears should have bailed on Mitch Trubisky. and gotten
Mahomes.
They could have had
That's my backup
any of those guys.
Okay.
Hey, that's my backup quarterback. By the way. Anyway.
no, not Jake Fromm.
That's what quarterback.
No, I'm talking
Josh
about
Allen.
Trubisky.
Oh yeah, Josh Allen.
That's all right.
Well, okay, so sorry. Anyway, I think he's got a star-studded crew, man. Will Fuller's a burner, and Waddle's a burner. Devontae Parker is a contested catch, pretty good guy, and Preston Williams, if he starts the season healthy, is pretty damn good too. This is, I mean, and Mike Gesicki is a pretty damn good tight end.
Let's go.
You
Yeah,
know?
Shane, I love you more and more. Keep talking him up.
I mean, this is some good weapons, and it's a good
last year as
quarterback.
the tight end 6 in fantasy.
Gesicki was.
Mhm.
I believe it.
I feel like I get in our group. I feel like I get a little hate when I bring him up, but
Well, I mean, for context, being the tight end 6 next to the tight end 1 is like a 200-point gap.
Mm.
we have Albatross.
I get it.
Mm.
But aside from the top 3 or 4 tight ends, the rest are just tight ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had 703 yards and 6 touchdowns. I mean, that's nothing to like.
I know it was a good
Talk about.
it was a fine year.
Yeah.
You got to temper your
He,
anyways.
I
like the
can't
way-
hate on. I can't hate on him. Against us, he had 8 catches for 130 yards. So I mean, I can't hate on the guy. But I mean, yeah,
Against him that week.
No, I think I had one. I think it was 2 years ago, a championship week that I lost the championship. He had like 2 touchdowns.
Damn.
Ugh.
but I mean, going back to Tua. I mean, you could make the excuses for him last year. They didn't have the talent around him, especially at wide receiver.
Yes.
But now,
Yes.
now it's like, hey, like you said, you got Devontae Parker, you got Will Fuller, you got Jalen Waddle, you got Gesicki. The only problem I don't like about this offense, I don't like any of their running backs.
Oh man,
Yeah. Okay.
I
don't-
disagree.
No. Yeah.
I
Ty,
don't.
why do you say that? Shane, are you about to sell some Miles Gaskins? Because that's what I wanted somebody to do tonight.
I like Miles Gaskin. I like Savon Ahmed. I like Malcolm Brown. I like. They're all fine.
I like Malcolm Brown.
He's
I
not
as
like
bad.
him better. I like him better. Yeah, I agree.
He might be.
part of this offense actually, and I like Miles Gaskin, but I'm actually kind of going off of what you're saying. I actually like the guys who are a little bit further behind in this, who people aren't talking about. I think that this offense could really. It doesn't have to be. I think it's up in the air. They drafted Dokes this year, right?
Yes.
Jared Dokes, yeah,
Yeah.
Jeff Brown.
So
I like Miles Gaskin like in the form of James White. I mean, he's a good pass catcher, but
I don't think that's
between
all
the
it is. But I mean, that's just my opinion.
yeah.
I
I think-
think.
I think Malcolm Brown's just more of a north and south runner though.
Right.
I like Malcolm Brown north and south between the tackles. I like Miles Gaskin's catching the ball out of the backfield. I will say that.
And it's last year they were pretty replaceable between
replaceable or interchangeable?
I mean like their starter went out.
So next man up, and they did fine.
Yeah, thank you. That's it. I'm starting to get a little bit lit from the tequila.
Oh, hey, all right.
So, my name recall. Plus, my brain elasticity is really just starting to suck lately. But my name recall is just sucking. But yeah, it seemed to me like when Miles Gaskin left, they had Savon Ahmed come, and I mean, he was pretty good for fantasy. You know, he was a good starter. So I don't think the running backs have to do a whole hell of a lot, to be honest with you. I mean, they have
If their
more
defense-
options.
If their defense is still the same defense it was last year, and Tua takes that next step, takes that, I'm gonna say it, Josh Allen step.
Or that, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's precisely right. Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah.
He doesn't even have to take a Josh Allen step, because that's a monster step.
Tannehill.
Yeah.
He could take a Tannehill step,
Yeah.
like you're saying.
Lamar Jackson step. Lamar Jackson took a huge step from his first to second year too.
That's true.
And Tua can move a little bit, you know.
Hey, do you guys want to play a game?
Oh, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Do it. Let's do it.
Would you rather
Oh,
Okay.
running backs, Miles Gaskins or James Robinson?
James Robinson.
I'd go Miles Gaskin.
I'll probably do Miles Gaskins too.
Miles Gaskin,
Miles or Kareem.
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 Let's do Miles or Chris Carson.
Chris Carson.
Healthy,
I've
healthy
regretted
16
Carson
games.
for
Absolutely.
years. I've regretted not drafting Chris Carson for years.
I'd go Miles. Gaskin.
No, you wouldn't.
No, you
Yeah, I
won't.
would. Yeah, I would, man.
Nope.
16 game Chris
Buckle
Carson
under the
over
jury
16 game
because
Chris
you
Carson.
knew that Chris Carson would come hunt you down and beat you up.
And then he'd say, "This is against your instinct. This is not who you are.
All the work you defend
True to
me,
yourself."
you turn your back on me.
All right, let's do Miles or David Montgomery.
It's got to be Montgomery.
Yeah, I think that offense is gonna roll.
Okay.
Said Miles Sanders or David Montgomery?
No, Miles Gaskins.
Oh no, David Montgomery.
Especially towards the end of the season, Dave.
Miles Gaskin or David Johnson, just in a vacuum, not
Gaskin.
Gaskin.
Yeah, Gaskin.
I will go Gaskin. Yeah.
What about Gaskins or Chase Edmond?
Gaskin.
Right now, I'll say Gaskin. That could change by the end of the year, but I'll go Gaskin.
Benjamin.
Here you go. Here you go.
James Conner.
All right. Do you guys have anything else on the Dolphins?
Nope.
All right.
So who is their backup quarterback right now?
I don't know.
Tua. That's why you all in on Tua. That's my
Yeah.
point. Can anybody even name the backup without looking it up? No.
No, but
Like I
just
just wanted
wanted to.
Trubisky's a backup for Buffalo.
That's
Jacoby,
right.
Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, Jacoby Brissett.
That's right.
Nobody would have gotten that.
Jacoby Brissett got dumped.
Seen
by
it or I
a
drew a
retired
blank.
quarterback.
I drew a blank.
I gotta go piss.
All right, boys.
Thanks for the warning.
Let's go. Let's go. Well, let's go Pats. Let's go Pats.
Ooh.
Because I want to end with the Jets because I feel like the Jets they have a lot going on. If I'm excited about the Jets.
I know because it's a lot to talk about, and I have no real direction on any of it.
No.
But
So let's switch to the Pats, guys. They were, I think they were the most active team in free agency. If I'm not correct, they added defense. They had defense, but on the offense, they definitely added names. They added, and again I said names: Aguilar from the Raiders, Kendrick Bourne from the 49ers, Hunter Henry. Well, let's talk about this. First, they got Jonnu from the Titans, which I've been a Jonnu truther.
I have too, and it's also worth noting that Bill Belichick loves Jonnu Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So Twitter went fantasy football. Twitter went ape shit, and I was on the train. I was super stoked. Within the next 24 hours,
They spent like $80 million.
and added Hunter Henry. So
Yeah, but that could be good because if you think about it, if you look at the other wide receivers that they brought in, did you already go over some of those?
I said Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah. So they've got Jacoby Myers returning. They've got N'Keal Harry returning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love any of those names necessarily, but I like Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry a lot. And maybe this mimics the offense that they tried to run with Gronk and Hernandez.
Yeah.
You have two seasoned, more so than because Asiasi and Dalton Keene they're not up to par. Or you don't make these signings. You know what I mean?
No.
So you obviously have tight ends that are veterans and who are athletic and play the position well. Both finished within the top 10, I think, last year. No, Hunter Henry was tight end 15. Jonnu was tight end 9. But I think that they're going to build this offense around throwing to both of them.
I don't know what's going to happen.
I'll just say that,
Because they're big targets, and Cam doesn't have to throw the ball perfectly for them to catch that ball.
Right. And his main target in Carolina was
Greg Olsen.
Yeah. So, and not only that, I'm just going to say each team in this division has a good linebacker. Buffalo's got Tremaine Edmonds. He's young, 23 years old. Was hurt last year. Plays 6'5", 250. That's a big boy at linebacker. Miami's got a
He's okay.
Huh?
First round pick.
Just kidding. He's great.
watch yourself. Miami's got. That's my guy, dude. Miami's got Jerome Baker at linebacker. He's a stud. And then the Jets are going to have a healthy C.J. Mosley back, and he's a stud too. So not only that, I mean, the Bills got Poyer and Micah Hyde. They're really good safeties. The Jets have really good safety and Marcus May. So they're combining with what each of these other divisions have at defense, I think. And how do you attack that? Two ways is, like you said, the old Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski story. So
yeah,
that's all I'm going to say about that.
It's hard to like really try and compare anybody to that duo, that tight end duo. You know what I mean? I think that it's Fool's goal to actually try and do that, but I think that they could be both could have viable fantasy seasons. You know what I mean? Like I think you could take either one of them and get production out of them on any given week. But that isn't that the nature of the Patriots, though. See, this is where like the whole philosophical side of me comes in. Drafting anybody from the Patriots could be a fool's errand, or it could win you a championship.
Yeah.
I lost all faith last year in the Patriots offense for dynasty purposes.
But what about?
Can I give you guys some Pat facts?
Oh,
yes, let's
Go
go.
for it. Go for it.
Pat down.
I think I have an idea where you're going, but go for it.
These are Pat facts.
Yeah.
All right, Patriots. It's so strange, Pat facts, because they've won 17 of the last 20 division titles. And now they fucking suck. But that's your first.
That's a fact.
That's your first Pat fact.
That's a fact.
Pat fact.
That's a good fact.
Here's another good Pat fact. Matt Patricia, sometimes called Matt Pat, also sucks.
That's why
That's
the
a
Lions
Pat
fired him.
It's another Pat fact. Okay, one more Pat fact for you. Patriots are the only team in the AFC East that Ryan Fitzmagic has not played for.
That's true.
That's an amazing Pat fact.
Mm-hmm.
When did you play for the Jets?
He played for the Jets.
2015 and 16.
Yeah, he
All
went
right,
from the boat.
Man,
To the
I
Jets.
can't even get into my love for him right now. But anyways,
Those have been Pat facts.
I'm going to divert for 1 second. Ryan Fitzpatrick supported Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker, and they both had 14 touchdowns apiece that season.
Holy shit.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's not
they
bad.
balled out. They balled out that year.
They sure did. And then the next year, they sucked.
Mm.
Who prevented Ryan Fitzpatrick going to the playoffs that year? Anyways, damn right. Anyways,
Sorry to divert, but how do you guys are talking about trusting the two tight end sets? I can't get a read on it, and I really don't want anybody from this team. Josh, I like what you did. You sold the running back. You traded that running back.
At
I
peak,
thought it was
probably.
Yeah, I think so. At the peak. What's his name again? I can't even remember.
Damian Harris.
Damian Harris.
I want to get into that, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I know. I like where you're going, Shane. I mean,
How do you trust anything? How do you trust it?
I mean, I'm putting you on the spot. If you and in redraft, what Patriot are you drafting, and where? What round do you think?
In redraft?
Yeah, I mean, Johnny would probably be my number one.
I would take Johnny.
John or Hunter Henry.
I would go with. I mean, Damian Harris would be my guy, but it would have to be very late.
I mean, sorry, go ahead, Todd. I'm
I
sorry.
was just gonna say with the running backs, I agree. I like Damian Harris, but you never know which running back is going to succeed.
No, you're right.
That's all. That's all game plan. Like it could be Damian Harris one week, and then the next week it's James White or Sony Michel or shit. They just drafted Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah.
Who I like. Yeah.
I mean, if I had Damian Harris as my running back too, like I would be, you know, that's not comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't like him as my two.
I mean, maybe as a 3. I mean, but you have James White. I mean, James White, and again, I mean, running back 3 flex play. I mean, not every week, but I mean, definitely as a fill-in. And I mean, Cam can dump off. I mean, go back to Christian McCaffrey, and you know what I'm saying. And
So
yeah,
I'm going to break from the pack here. I think the best value on this team is Kendrick Bourne.
ooh,
Oh,
I like that.
I think
Wow.
I like that too.
because nobody wants him except for me. So I'll fucking kill all of them. And
Well,
but you can get him for late. And I think that his production in the red zone is why I like him. And he shows up at the end of the season, which is also why I like him, because that's when you really need it.
well,
And,
and they also
but just more or less, I think that he can play in more spots. I think that he can line up in more formations than, say, Jacoby Myers or even Nelson Aguilar. I think that Kendrick Bourne can line up everywhere for them. And that's why I like him.
I was just going to say, I just read where he was working the slot. He was starting to work the slot a lot more. I agree. I think he can work more formations than Nelson Aguilar. I agree.
And that's really more or less value based off of the fact that he has a really far down ADP. You're taking him 10th round or later, I think. Maybe even like 13th, 14th round, you know, which could change between here and there, but nobody really knows what's going to happen with his offense. And so I think the fact that they pursued him is good. They obviously pursued Nelson Aguilar as well, but they obviously have a plan for these guys. That's why they brought them in. And if you know anything about the Patriots' history, them drafting wide receivers is never good. You want the guys they bring in if you're going to take them.
I agree with that sentiment you said, Morg, until what we saw last year. I think there was a viable, if the Patriots are doing this, they have a plan. And then last year happened, and now I feel like that faith has been
But
lost.
they didn't, not to defend them, because, God, they don't need me to defend them. But they didn't bring Cam in until late into training camp. And so then you're redesigning your entire offense with a completely different skill set and a guy who hasn't learned what you're doing yet. Bill Belichick loves Cam Newton still. It wouldn't even actually surprise me if Mac Jones doesn't play this year if Cam Newton plays well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I think Cam Newton's going to get the crack at it to start it. And so he's going into a second year. The big question mark for me for all of this is Cam Newton's foot well enough for him to be accurate? And I know what you're thinking. What does your foot have to do with accuracy? But it has a fucking ton to do with it. And that's what really concerns me is he well enough as a quarterback to hit these guys? And then if they pull him and they put Matt Jones in, then it really becomes how quickly can he build chemistry? And that's what makes me want to stay away from all of these players in itself. Is because there is the possibility that you get the quarterback switcheroo and it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
What say you, Gars?
About wide receivers?
About the whole Patriots.
I think it's just really going to go to the top 2 tight ends, really. I mean, you had Hunter Henry, who was number 12 last year, and you had Jonnu too. I think because what I put too, I looked at 2011 when Gronk and Aaron Hernandez was there, and both of them kind of balled out. You got Gronk with 90 receptions, 1,300 yards, 17 TDs, whereas Aaron Hernandez had 79, 910, and 7 TDs. So, I mean, both of these guys will be pretty viable, man. I mean, maybe you have somebody flash at wide receiver spot, but I mean, when you got Cam Newton throwing you the ball, who was his favorite target? It's Greg Olsen back in Carolina. So, I mean, they can be great red zone threats too. I like Morgs too. Kendrick Bourne was really a good red zone threat. So, by all means.
None of us, Josh just like pointed at me, and he's totally right, because I even have him written down as a second running back on my list, and I skipped over him on purpose. None of us talked about Sony Michel, former first rounder. You know,
somebody mentioned him. I think Ty did, but he's.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ty. I wasn't listening. I thought you were talking about the Bills.
I wouldn't want him. I mean, I think that they said he's even fighting for a job, fighting for a roster spot.
He's very legitimately on the bubble. You know.
Yeah. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option yet.
Yeah.
That was a bad first round pick. Oh.
Who was the worst first round pick, him or Penny?
Him or who?
Rashad Penny.
No, I'd say Penny.
Penny's got like
Penny,
right.
Yes, yeah. Sony definitely. I mean, he had 1 year where he did.
At least Sony was taking Chubb off the field sometimes in school.
Yeah.
Think
And
about,
Sony really wasn't that bad last year.
think about
I
that.
mean,
He had
but he's
79
just
carries.
yeah, but just they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. I mean, he was just basically non-existent some games, but like I mean, when he had the opportunities, dude, he was half decent. But this is just a backfield that you don't want to touch unless somebody's available after the 10th round. To me, I mean, I like him. Did you guys talk? Because I was away for a second. Did you talk about Ramondre Stevenson and his yards
just
from
brought
last
it up.
year?
I brought it up the fact that
Gary,
I brought it up.
Gary, chime in.
What was it?
What is
Was it
James
6 games?
James White is
I mean-
80 targets.
Right, but is he still going to get those 80 targets?
I don't see why he wouldn't. I
It's
mean,
not-
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Cam dumped off to McCaffrey.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right, you're right, you're right.
because Damian Harris is not really he's not really a receiving back.
yeah.
You know,
I mean, Sonny's never gone over 1,000 yards. He only played 9 games last year. He played a full season in 2019. He played a full season in 2019. He only had 3.7 for average. I mean,
well, last year was better for him. He had 79 carries for 429 yards.
Yeah, no, but
But
go Damian if you're going Damian. Or go Ramondre. But I mean, yeah, I mean, if I'm drafting a patch running back, I'm going James White. I'm going with the PPR upside.
Especially if it's full point PPR,
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I don't know who plays standard leagues anymore. But
It's the team that I'm staying away from. Just like every year before this year, I would stay away from the next team we're about to talk about.
all right, Shane, good transition.
I appreciate you.
Jets, dude, Jets. I'm excited.
The best part of this team,
I am too. What's
Joe
that?
Douglas, who went to the
Lee Davis High School, now Mechanicsville High School,
where?
Yeah,
who's that?
our Brad.
representing our 804. So
Yeah,
Wait, I didn't hear you. Who was it?
Joe Douglas, the GM for the Jets, is
Oh.
from the 804.
he went to our high school, not yours. Sorry, but everybody else.
He shows that team building strategy that comes out of Mechanicsville. I mean, as witnessed. As a matter of fact, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Shane, you had it all. But so the Jet guys, let's start this off with the draft. And they made moves. Obviously, the number 2 pick, they took Zach Wilson, a quarterback from BYU. They followed up in the first round. Not really fantasy, but hopefully this will help your fantasy team. Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive tackle from UFC. I think they took him at like 14, so mid first round. Guys, this a wide receiver. I don't have any shares of him personally, but I kind of regret not having it. Oh my geez, he brought out the belt. Guys, Elijah Moore, an Ole
This
Miss
fucking guy.
an Ole Miss wide receiver that and this guy follows the path of who are my Ole Miss wide receivers? DK Metcalf
AJ Brown.
and AJ Brown. If Elijah Moore can do something, I mean, this is it. And then,
I like Elijah Moore.
and
God
then what round did the Jets take?
Hey,
Michael
how do we take the screen off of Shane's?
Carter?
you can't.
You don't.
You can't, bro. You don't. You don't.
How many championships did it take to win that?
Do. And I called my boy Joe Douglas and I said, you know what, dude? I won this belt, winning 2 championships, and I like what you're doing over there in New York.
It's so bad. Ty got off. You back?
I'm back.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to show you all the hard way.
I'm glad you brought that out.
Yeah.
It reminds me of all the mistakes I've made. So thanks.
So along with these draft moves, like huge draft, I mean, all these, I think these are very good fantasy implications. I mean, Gary's a big Michael Carter guy. And then and they also added Corey Davis, who after 4 years in Tennessee finally showed out and made worthwhile, and he got paid in New York. So I think and what I've read, I mean, Zach Wilson's practices is that he's getting it and he's being aggressive and he's going with it. So I mean, I think they took Mekhi Becton last year in the first round, O lineman, and they got Vera Tucker this year. So I mean, they're protecting the guy. They're doing everything right to get. I mean, to do it. You know what I'm saying? They're building and they're doing right. They have a new coach. So I mean, honestly, and I'm just gonna throw this out here now. I like to go back and look at stats from last year. Last year was Adam Gase. So fuck that. I mean, yeah. There's no use at looking at anything. They got the what's his name, Robert Saleh from.
Robert Saleh, yeah.
He's the new coach from San Fran, defensive head coach. So it's a whole new regime, which I mean I think is, if I'm a Jets fan, I'm stoked. I mean the ceiling is
the roof.
Just the ceiling. Yeah, let's go. I mean, fireworks, 4th of July. Let's go. So I mean, like I said, there's a lot of upside. I mean, I don't know what you guys. I don't think, but I think there's the wide receiver core is very great. We got Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder. I think he took a pay cut to stay, and you have Mims from last year, a first round pick. So there's a lot to throw around. The only negative I can see, and I held out hope for a while, Chris Herndon still isn't getting it.
Yep, they said he struggled.
Go ahead, guys.
I was going to say he's struggling. Apparently, he's struggling with the playbook. Apparently, and he lost first team reps. He lost first team reps to my former Bills tight end Tyler Croft and Ryan Griffin. So that's not good.
Journeyman for sure, but it doesn't always have to go through the tight end. You know, I mean, if you've got a guy who can just. The fact that they don't have a tight end who's balling out isn't the end of the world. I'm excited to see them. And I haven't been excited to see the Jets for a long time. Actually, I don't know if I ever have been. Maybe since the
I'm reminded, because I've been triggered by the commissioner because he said Adam Gase.
I'm sorry.
There was a tight end that was really good, and he played with Peyton Manning in Denver. His name was Julius Thomas.
Oh, geez. Orange Julius.
And then he made the decision to follow Adam Gase to Miami.
Oh, wow.
And he was out of the league in like a year and a half.
Yep.
Adam Gase, the tight end killer. The only reason he did well with Peyton Manning is because Adam Gase didn't run that offense. Peyton Manning did.
Yeah.
So I actually still think Chris Herndon I think he has great sleeper potential for this year. I know. It's a terrible thing. I've heard this. This is an echo chamber of the past 4 years or 3 years. Either way, I'm willing to give it one more go. If I'm willing to roster Ian Thomas, best know I'm willing to give it one more shot. Especially when you have so much, like, what's the difference between tight end 10 and tight end 15? 20 points?
Yeah.
You know,
like that.
Great. So you got to start somebody at the position. I would take a chance on him. And you're going to, again, this might as well be sleeper hour for me because I'm interested in all of the people who are basically going to be at the end of these rounds. I know who I want at the front. You know, I'll go get my guy. I'll draft the shit out of Brandon Cooks in the first round. Not now, years ago. But the point is, you want these guys, at least for me, I want to talk about these guys in the back end of things, especially with the wide receivers. Like, I think Jamison Crowder had a bad year last year, but I think that if you line him up and don't make him your only deep threat, you kind of line him up in the slot, he can have more production. I'm actually excited for this team. I think they're going to let it rip. But
yeah, I'm excited too, dude.
Like, I think they're going to really try and get after it because what do you have to lose? I think Joe Douglas needs to make an impression if he wants to maintain his GM role.
Everybody loves him. Everybody here talking about him loves him. Maybe it's just because we talk about him all the time.
Well, you know. So.
What a cunt with that fucking belt.
Oh, I gotta put a C tag.
Don't you worry. 2021 is here, boy. No, I mean, honestly, like, this defense should be with Robert Saleh too. I think this defense would be really good. He's going to get them tight knit, kind of how the 49ers were in their Super Bowl run. They were amazing, dude. They could have been great last year, but a lot of injuries kind of took 49ers or pushed the 49ers back. But man, the Jets have some playmakers. And I think he's capable of getting this team at least, to have that tough grit kind of deal, and which can be definitely good for the offense in general to turn it around, to switch it around. So I'm interested too, man. It's gonna be a fun. I like seeing a team turn their franchise around. So I mean, the Jets. I like the Dolphins a while back, a couple years ago, but now I'm kind of interested to see how the Jets can do it. So.
I mean, I've been sort of feeling that way with Washington. They obviously don't have. I know I'm sidetracking here, but I've been feeling that way about Washington, even though I don't feel like they've really figured out what they want to do with quarterback. But there's a lot of young things they're building with that team, like you're saying, where you're watching a team sort of flip, and like Buffalo did it after Tyrod,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
A lot of teams do it, and some teams do it quicker than others. It doesn't seem fair. I feel like the Bengals were trying to flip that team for like 12 years. But
Bengals had it pretty good though for a while.
They did, but they never won a playoff game through that stretch.
Yeah.
Not one.
Even with Carson, they never won one.
No. They had a good run in the 80s. They made it to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And a couple of other championships, but
back when Boomer meant something else.
That's right.
Jeez, name drop, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My father-in-law still talks about it.
I think there's a lot of competition at running back too. I mean, there's.
Oh yeah, name this Michael Carter. I mean, I don't know, but keep going.
LaMichael P. Ryan.
You got Tevin Coleman. You got Ty Johnson. LaMichael P. Ryan. Hell, you can even say Josh Adams is way down the list. But like you said, Michael Carter, there's competition. It's not like last year where it was basically Le'Veon. Then they trade him. So I mean, they've created a lot of competition everywhere. And like they say, competition breeds success. So I mean, I don't know. Who do y'all think is going to be the number one running back? You think it's going to be Michael Carter?
Yeah.
I mean, it might take a couple weeks, but I mean, you're going to see, because Tevin Coleman's been subpar, man, these past couple of years. I mean, he lost his juice ever since he left Atlanta. And I think,
I agree.
I think Michael Carter is not going to be like your stout, like 3-down back all the time. So I think you're going to have somebody like Ty Johnson or Michael P. Ryan, just somebody to help him out through the rest of the year. So,
I think those guys you said are definitely the placeholders for kind of the north south. But then you get Michael Carter. He's your PPR. I mean, you could be your. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna say Kamara, but Naeem Hines.
To be honest, I think he could do it all.
Who, Michael Carter?
He's their home run threat.
I was just kind of thinking about the fact that you had Michael Carter and Javonte Williams come out this year. Both of them played for the same school, and they were both good enough to be supported on one offense.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were both great.
With Sam Howell as their quarterback.
Yeah, and UNC, that's not like a college that you think.
Like, it's not running back university in your mind.
No, but they had a hell of an offense last year.
They did.
I mean, Sam Howell was balling out, and then like you said, they had 2 running backs that had 1,000 yards. I think Javonte Williams had 20 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if he had that many touchdowns, but I mean, he might have. I don't know, but
I thought he did. But
I just
either
know
way,
it was really productive last year, and that's kind of in a lot of drafts. If I can't get my hands on a Javonte Williams, if I can get a Michael Carter, I'm super happy about that.
Yeah,
especially dynasty, obviously. But
yeah.
So who would you? I won't get into that. Actually, this is not what we're talking about here. But maybe I will.
Yeah, go for it.
Who would you rather have in a draft? Would you rather have Javonte Williams or Michael Carter?
Redraft or dynasty?
Redraft.
I take Williams in both. I think
he's more.
I think I take Melvin's spot.
He's more the north-south runner. I like those better. So yeah, I would go Javonte. Nothing against Michael Carter though.
No, I mean I'd probably go Javonte too. To tell you the truth.
If I have one pick and I have to get either, I would probably take Javonte begrudgingly. But if it was take Javonte in the fourth, or take Michael Carter in the sixth, or even Michael Carter in the fifth, it would be take Michael Carter, because I think he's just as good as Javonte Williams, and I think it might even be week one. He comes out as a workhorse back. There might not even be like a
running back in my committee.
I mean, yeah, but you know what they say when they give the veteran the veteran deference. You know what I mean? They kind of like make it look like, yeah, this is our starter, and then they let the rookie take over. I don't even know if they're going to have that with him.
Well, I'm with Gary. I'm with Gary. I keep seeing Tevin Coleman, but he was. I know he was hurt, but he averaged less than 2 yards carry. And then when he was healthy, when he was healthy 2 years ago in San Francisco, he was under 4 yards of carry. So I'm with Gary. Yeah, ever since he left Atlanta and he left Devontae Freeman, yeah, it's not been there.
So something to kind of monitor with training camp battles, especially. I mean, these guys could be, in a redraft, these could be some late round flyers. I mean, nothing to get excited about, but I mean, a placeholder if injury happens, something. I mean,
yeah,
we'll see. Let's be honest. I mean, a lot is going to depend on Zach Wilson, guys.
Yep.
And I mean, I've heard nothing but promising things so far. So,
I mean, he's got talent around him. I mean, he's got more talent around him than Tua did last year.
I like that a lot. I think you're right. Yeah.
He's got way more talent. And I didn't realize this about Elijah Moore, because I mean, I know a lot of y'all were high on him, and I was like, okay, whatever. In 8 games, he had 86 catches for 1,193 yards. That's nearly 11 catches a game and 150 yards a game. Oh, by the way, only in the SEC.
That's like some Michael Thomas peak right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's some. I just saw that. I'm like, good God. I'm like, that's fucking amazing.
Do you remember a couple years ago when like Michael Thomas was getting like 9, 10, 13 catches a game?
Yeah.
That's what those type of numbers. Now, granted, they're different specimens, but that's insane.
Yeah. Because he was getting a hell of a lot of targets too. He was getting like yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, I missed my bet. So Zach Wilson's over under numbers are the exact same as Tua's. 3,850 and 1/2 yard.
I'm going the under on him too. I'm going under on both.
Yeah, I'm with Shane.
Fucking shit! It's 17 games though.
So you said 3,800.
Yeah, that's true. It is 17 games, not 16. Our math is flawed. Okay, let's start over.
So 3,800 yards, 17 games. That's like 220 something yards a game, I guess.
He did 12 games for 3,600, but I mean, that is in a dumpy division in college.
Yeah.
I'll take the over on it. I think they can do it. I think they're gonna.
You like the over on better, Zach Wilson or Tua?
I'm thinking Tua.
Yeah.
Tua.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same regime. I know different offense coordinator, but same regime, more talent than you had last year. Zach Wilson's a rookie, unless he balls out like I don't know.
Mark Sanchez.
I was gonna say Justin Herbert, but yeah, sure, Mark Sanchez. Sure. Yeah, unless he balls out like Justin Herbert, I mean, or Burrow before he got hurt, I just don't see it. Yeah, I'll go with Tua.
Okay, I got a question for you guys. Out of the whole AFC East, which non-starting running back would you take a flyer on at the end of your draft? You get to pick one of these guys, okay? LaMichael Pirine, Savon Ahmed, Ramondre Stevenson, or Matt Breida.
Andre.
I'll take the Dolphins.
Yeah, Savon Ahmed.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I think I'd go P. Ryan.
All right.
But it's funny because they're all bums. But
Hey, wait a minute.
Tell me more.
I mean, the thing is, these guys are all potentially number threes.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, things change. I mean, we see that every year. We saw James Robinson, Chris Carson. You know, you gotta go ahead and get them on your roster before preseason starts. And how fucking happy are you guys that we're gonna get preseason this year?
It's great.
It's great. Yeah.
They had to take it away so we could appreciate it.
No, so we're because the Washington football team has training camp here in Richmond, Virginia. We looked into it. They'll be here the last week of July, and that Friday we were like, oh, let's take a vacation day and just do like a 3-day weekend. So that Friday is actually Kids Day. So we looked into it today, and like I don't know how, like, I guess because COVID, things have changed now. So we looked into it, and they wanted you to sign up for tickets, and we looked at it, and they had sections, and the wife wanted to look at. She's like, I want to pick a section. I'm like, just get tickets, like just get the tickets because I don't know what's going to happen. So we tried to find sections, couldn't find sections. Came back and there's no more tickets. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's.
I saw the same thing for Saturday. Me and my buddy are trying to go Saturday.
I don't know what that means. If we can't get it in or just.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, you promised last week that Fitzpatrick would be holding your boy, so you got to come through on that promise.
I know. Well, no, of course, all the COVID stuff. I don't think they're going to do what they were doing. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just want I want my kid to meet a great person besides you guys.
No, he's got Uncle Tyson, man.
Do you know which football position has the highest average Wonderlic score and the lowest average Wonderlic score?
Can I go lowest first?
Go ahead, Ty.
Sure. Go ahead.
I'm thinking either wide receiver or defensive back or a cornerback.
No.
Highest? I'm gonna go safety. I don't know why.
No.
I'm going linebacker highest.
I'm gonna say center. I'm gonna say center for highest.
Offensive line is highest on average.
Mm-hmm.
And lowest?
Lowest.
Kicker.
No.
Linebacker.
No.
Team owner.
Running back.
Wait, somebody said something after Morgan said team owner.
Running back.
Yeah, it's running back. Yep.
What you need to know. Hold that ball tight to your chest and pound that shit.
Basically.
That's sad because I mean, besides quarterback, I mean, those are probably the most like.
I would think that like linebackers would be. I mean, they are smart, but I don't know, whatever.
Linebackers are up there. Linebackers are up there.
I mean, if Ray Lewis could get out of a trunk,
it's the Wonderlic. It's the I took a preparation Wonderlic test today. You get 12 minutes for 50 questions. I scored a 17, which is bad.
Yeah,
it is.
I was
Wonderlic.
not budgeting my time. What'd you say?
I think Fitzpatrick scored either like a perfect score or like a 48.
He scored a 48.
48, okay.
He's the highest score ever, right?
Can you send it to all of us?
The highest score ever was a 50. One guy had a perfect score.
Who
was that?
And it was
Gronk?
Pat McElroy.
You said
or
Gronk.
something like that.
Pat McAfee?
Pat McAfee.
No, it wasn't McAfee. It was years ago. He was drafted in 1978.
Oh, geez.
Lynn Swan. No
But
way.
they say a lot of offensive linemen will miss some on purpose because coaches won't draft people if they're too high because coaches don't want somebody who's more intelligent than them. They don't want to be challenged. Isn't that crazy? I'll send it. I'll send you the website.
That seems like
I want to take
that
it.
sounds like something Adam Gaze would do.
It sure does.
12. You have 12 minutes to take 50 questions.
Yes.
I
Is
can't
it
do
multiple choice?
Yeah,
Yep, the answers are there. You have to choose the right one. I'll send it to all y'all.
I can't.
Okay.
Oh my god, I can't do it.
I'm actually excited about this. You ever
It's
take IQ
really-
tests?
Wait. Can that be a Flug Fest event?
Oh my God. That's brilliant. Everybody would have to bring their computers. You guys, tomorrow or the following day, I want to get my shit together on Fleek Fest and get some shit out.
Works for me.
You could have a computer set up at your house. Anybody could take it.
Okay. And if somebody's smart enough to get their girl to help them with it, fine. Or if they have a genius girl that'll help them with it.
What are all the? I mean, maybe you'll just. What are all the questions about? Okay.
Puberty.
I guess I set myself up for
Basic
that one.
small business laws.
Oh,
No,
fuck.
one of them
Not
said
everyday stuff.
All right, guys, we're going off the rails. Let's
Yeah.
what guys? This was a good pod. This is a good time.
I'm sorry I talked your ear off.
No,
folks.
nobody talked. Nobody. Hey, this is what we're
Yes,
here.
I did. I talked everybody's ear off about the Bills. I did.
This is
Anyway.
well, I wish you would have worn some Bill's clothing, Ty.
Hey guys, this is our podcast.
You already know.
We do. We're here, have a good time, drink some beers, and talk fantasy football.
Shoot the breeze.
If you're listening, we thank you for listening. This is what we're gonna do. And hey guys, Fourth of July is coming this weekend, so happy 4th, everybody.
Be safe. Put the mortars in the tube the right way.
Don't be a JP Claw. And
I blew up a whole bunch of mortars one time. I put it upside down and
Don't
blew up our whole stash. Oh boy.
don't have a machete around you.
Yeah, no machete foot,
the machetes around the ground.
mushroom toe.
For
Have
the
Derek around you.
for the crew for Morgan Mart
Love you guys. Come if you got any questions, you can ask me. I mean, whatever.
for Shane at Fantasy Hack.
Good to
Guys,
see
give
you
us-
boys again.
Give Gary at Gars_Poetica.
Yep.
Ty, you can't find him on social media. Maybe on some dating app. I don't even fucking know. Find
No
me at jhicks804.
Well, hey, Josh told me there is a picture of me on Fluke, so I guess there is some kind of
There you
social the social
I think
media.
yeah, like I said, Gary's getting it. Like I said, Gary's building the website, the www.thefluke.com.
I found a good headshot for you. You wouldn't give me one, so I got you.
I'm scared to know.
We're gonna get me and
Nah, that's good.
me and Ty have a wedding this
You
weekend.
look handsome.
I'll make sure we make a good one. I'll make sure what the wife takes one good. I'll give her one job to take a picture in the tux. To look professional.
Look. Yeah, look. I gotta say, my suit game's all right.
Alright. I'll take a pic and send it. We'll see.
If no cummerbunds, I'm gonna be pissed.
I hope it looks like Chris Bosh when he got drafted.
Who?
You said Chris Bosh?
Chris Bosh when they got drafted. Go back and look at that picture. All of those suits are super like square, giant shoulders, super baggy. It's gnarly. What the fuck were we thinking all those years ago?
Back in the day. All right, guys. Well, what the end of the Flug podcast AFC East, we're done. On to
That was the sound of a belt hitting a microphone. Don't worry about it.
dude. Shane's been doing tricks with his belt. AFC East podcast. What did we say we're gonna do next time? I think we talked about
You said NFC West.
yes.
We were talking about somebody. Oh, the 49ers. We're talking about the 49ers.
Go. All right.
Oh my fucking god, I love it.
NFC West podcast next time. Guys, thank you for listening again. iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, search the Flug. We're there, guys. Everybody have a happy 4th.
The Bills are going to win this division.
Good night.